What's up, good people? It's your Final Fantasy homie Jay. I swear it's been a long time since we've been in our favorite striking dummy. And I put out Monk guides a couple of months ago as I was learning Monk and learning the rotation. And I thought it'd be great because I had people hit me up in the Discord and people who have been watching me doing Savage raids and asking me kind of like, what is my play-by-play like opener and the 2-minute kind of the rotation that I use throughout the entire fight. And I was like, what better way for me to show that now that I actually have an optimal rotation that I use personally to make sure that we're using all our cooldowns, make sure that we're falling into all of our raid buffs, and that we're being the best Monk that we possibly can be. And y'all know me, I like to talk about it. I don't want to just throw the stuff up on screen and say good luck. I like to kind of tell you exactly what it is, and then then you can pretty much replicate this combo, this rotation if you want. So for Monk, there is a 2-minute flow that we repeatedly follow over and over and over again. So when you think about that, we're always going to start off our opener with 2 perfect balances with Brotherhood and Riddle of Fire. And then so that is called your even number rotation. So that would be like at 0 minutes of the fight, at 2 minutes of the fight, at 4 minutes of the fight. On your even timers, you should always have a Riddle of Fire and a Brotherhood ready to go with 2 perfect balances. The other thing is considered is your odd number rotation. That's at 1 minute of the fight, 3 minutes of the fight, 5 minutes into the fight. In your odd number rotation, you're always going to use 1 perfect balance and 1 Riddle of Fire. This may sound confusing, but I promise you, it's not. once you understand that you're pretty much doing the exact same flow over and over, it's just the timers kind of give you an idea of where you should be and seeing if you're hitting your rotation properly. Just something to think of if you're looking to optimize. So for my opener, and when I say opener, I'm just talking about the first 2, the very beginning of the fight when we're using Brotherhood and Riddle of Fire, and we're using both perfect balances. So my opener is the double solar. I love the double solar one. I felt weird about it at first, but now after playing it so much and taking it into the raid content and really getting into it, I love it. I think having a 2-minute burst window with Phantom Rush, it does so much damage. It's such a good feeling rotation once you get it down. The only part that's scary is that if you die within that 2 minutes, which hopefully you shouldn't. So a step-by-step of how this opener will go and how I use it. Since everybody asks, obviously you can make your own adjustments. So much more comfortable for you. But my goal is to use every important cooldown possible in my opener. So when you start off a fight, you're always going to start off with your max meditations, right? Your forbidden chakra's ready to go, and you're gonna always start in a form shift, because what form shift does, I have a lot of people ask this, and people ask like, why do you start from the form shift? What form shift does is allow you to use any of your 6 buttons without the form requirement. That means if we use Dragon Kick, when we activate form shift, it will give us the free lead-ins fist that comes from the bonus, or the twins. It allows you to continue your combo from any point in time. So the only time you use form shift is at the very beginning of the fight, so that way you can get the lead-ins fist for your boot shine activated super early, and any time that you may have downtime. That's why like Anaman, like I don't recommend it, because you can literally just use form shift and continue your rotation. Anaman delays your Twin Snakes buff, and it'll throw your rotation off. It doesn't really help. So if you're doing that, I suggest try using just form shift. And if you need to activate your Twin Snakes, just use it that way. So when the fight starts, the first thing we're gonna do is go to form shift. We're gonna start off with a Dragon Kick. This will give us our free lead-ins buff, ready to go. After Dragon Kick, we're going straight into a perfect balance, into a Twin Snakes, straight into a Riddle of Fire, into a Demolish, into our Forbidden Chakra, into Boot Shine. We're doing it like this because we do not want to clip our abilities. So while our Dragon Kick is on cooldown, we're activating Perfect Balance because they're off global cooldown. So we can weave that into our combo without stopping our rotation. So we go from a Dragon Kick, we weave a Perfect Balance into a Twin Snakes, and then we weave a Riddle of Fire into a Demolish, and then we weave a Forbidden Chakra into our Boot Shine. Once we hit Boot Shine, we're going to have our first Phoenix here. What we want to do is after we hit Boot Shine, we want to weave our Brotherhood into our Phoenix, because now our Phoenix is getting the buff of the Riddle of Fire, it's getting the buff from the Brotherhood. It's going to do stupid damage. So afterwards, after we hit our first Phoenix, when you use a Masterful Blitz, it gives you another free form shift. So what we want to do is after we use Phoenix, we're going to weave a Riddle of fire, wind, not fire. We already use fire. Riddle of wind into another dragon kick, because since we have the free form shift from Masterful Blitz, weaving this into another dragon kick gives us another lead-ins bonus. See, now we got 2 lead-ins bonuses in our opening rotation. As soon as we hit our next dragon kick, we're gonna weave. I keep using the word weave so we can learn this terminology. Follow me, you with me? I know y'all with me. We're gonna weave a perfect balance and start our second Phoenix rotation. We're gonna go into a boot shine, into a true strike, into a snap punch, and we're gonna use our last Phoenix. That is the Phoenix opener that I use. That puts your Riddle of Wind on cooldown. That puts your Riddle of Fire on cooldown. That puts your Brotherhood on cooldown. You're slapping Forbidden Chakras. You're getting everything that's important in your opening rotation to do the max damage. Because Riddle of Wind is really just a dot. It's just a melee dot that is going to add to that because you're under the buffs. That is the opener that I use. That is your even number rotations that you start. That's your opener. That's your double Phoenix. I use that so I can keep my timer buffs on my party. From there, you just follow your monk rotation. You will most likely just go back to a dragon kick, Twin Snakes, Demolish, because you're gonna reactivate Twin Snakes because it's about to fall off, and Demolish would be about to fall off. So then you keep those activated all times, and you just go through your rotation. You just continue through your rotation until your Riddle of Fire comes back off of cooldown. That's gonna be your odd number, your odd combo, the combo that you do in between your Brotherhood. So what should happen is when you use your Riddle of Fire, it should put it on cooldown at the same time that Brotherhood is still on cooldown. So like Riddle of Fire comes off at 60 seconds. Actually, hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, and now Brotherhood comes off at 2 minutes. So at 1 minute after you use this is gonna come back up. So if you use this again, both of these should be on 60 seconds together, so you can prepare for your 2 minute burst window. And then from there, you rinse and repeat this entire rotation over and over again till the boss is dead or y'all wipe. So once you get that Riddle of Fire, your odd number, so at the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute, as you're waiting for your Brotherhood to come back, you should be able to get a boot shine off, go into one perfect balance with a Riddle of Fire and activate your Lunar, which would be Dragon Kick, boot shine, Dragon Kick. Right? That should activate your Lunar. So now you have your Lunar and your Solar ready to go for your Phantom Rush combo. Or if you're not level 90, it will be Dragon Kick. It'll be a Dragon Kick combo. Because this rotation also works for level 60. Because for level 70, because you won't have Riddle of Fire, but you will have Brotherhood. At level 70, you have Brotherhood and Riddle of Fire. So level 70, you'll be able to actually just practice this entire rotation pretty much good to go without, Riddle of Wind and stuff. So you can start practicing this pretty early. So when you get to that final point where your Brotherhood is going to come up, and don't worry, I'm going to show the entire rotation. So I got you. I will show you the entire rotation at the end. At the end, I'm just going to flow through the entire rotation so you can see it. When the last Brotherhood and the last Riddle of Fire comes up, that's how you know you're going into your final burst window, which is pretty much doing the Dragon Kick, boot shine, Dragon Kick into your so what you're gonna do is you're gonna activate Riddle of Fire, you're gonna activate Brotherhood, you're gonna weave them in, you're gonna go to your Dragon Kick, boot shine, Dragon Kick into your Phantom Rush. You should be able to get a boot shine off, and then you're gonna go into another perfect balance, Dragon Kick, Twin Snakes, Demolish, and then you're gonna rinse and repeat that, because then at that point you're just going back to a perfect balance, Riddle of Fire, and then you'll be back at ready to do your booyah, all right? So let me do the entire rotation because I want to make sure I wanted to explain that so it made sense. I'm gonna do the entire rotation and then I'll show you like where we end at the 2 minute rotation and how it loops back around. So let Jay not mess this up and make y'all proud. So let's go through the entire rotation. I'm just gonna flow, watch the buttons that I'm pushing. It's pretty much exactly what I explained. Just watch the buttons that I'm pushing. And you'll see exactly how it flows. So I'm gonna add like it's an actual like countdown timer. And then we'll go from there, right? So that like is a real countdown timer. As you see, I'm weaving in my abilities. So that is the complete opener. At that point, we're just playing the game until our next Riddle of Fire is ready in 35 seconds. As you can see, like if you keep an eye on my timers, I'm keeping my timers activated. Demolish is good, so I use Snap Punch. I always use Snap Punch if you got time on your Demolish. Usually you want to use Demolish like here. See, it's about to run out, so I'm activating it here. 20 seconds, we're going into our odd number rotation. Because what we're waiting on really is for Brotherhood to come back. So we're just saving this perfect balance here. So by the time I get here, this is about to come off. So I'm going to use this boost shot and I'm immediately going to perfect balance. Activate Riddle of Fire here. Do my Lunar rotation. I'm going to use Twin Snakes here to put that back on. Snap Punch. And then I'm also going to use Demolish here to activate that. See, I have not let my timers drop one time. So after that one Riddle of Fire perfect balance rotation, go straight into your Twin Snakes. Because your Twin Snakes would drop if you do not go straight into your Twin Snakes. And you actually have a Ladens ready to go in your rotation here. The goal here is to not let any of our timers drop. Our Riddle Wind came up. We're just going to use Riddle Wind on cooldown, just like that. We're waiting for, at this point, we're just kind of waiting for Brotherhood to come back. So in 17 seconds, we will go into the last part of this entire loop. Because this is what we will continue to do throughout the rest of the fight. So in 6 seconds, I'm going to use Demolish here because I'm going into this long rotation. I'm activating perfect balance. There goes Riddle of Fire. We're going to get this last one off. We're going to do Brotherhood here. Boot Shine into another perfect balance. And then we're going to use our last one here. So boom. So then if the fight was still going, you would keep going. So what we actually would go here and straight into a boot shine. We'll go straight to a 2-strike. And we'll go straight into a Snap Punch. And then just keep going. So at this point, you're just still going through your rotation until another Riddle of Fire comes back. And then you're going to repeat and create your Lunar. Because we already have our Solar. So then we go and do our 1 PB into our Riddle of Fire to get our Lunar back. And then all we do is wait to do the Brotherhood and Riddle of Fire Phoenix, Phantom Rush into a Phoenix rotation. And we rinse and repeat that entire rotation until the boss dies. And people have asked me, so I wanted to drop this. I wanted to give an updated Undi rotation to use because I know that the other guides are a little outdated because I was still learning the rotation. But this is the one that I use. And this one produces the most damage for me. And it does really well. So I hope this video helps. I hope it helps out a lot. The question you might have is why after the Riddle of Fire? Why after? So like why if I was in my rotation? The question might be like why after the Lunar rotation here? So when I go into my odd number and I'm activating Riddle of Fire, why after this do I restart with the Twin Snakes? It's because my Twin Snakes is at 2 seconds. So I restart with Twin Snakes. So I never drop my combo. And I already have a Ladens from finishing out the rotation. So I don't need to use Dragon Kick there because I already have a Ladens. I mean a Ladens. So I don't need to use Dragon Kick there. If you wondered why I started with Twin Snakes, it allows all my buffs to stay up. I never drop my buffs. They stay active the entire time unless I make a oopsie, which happens a lot. So I hope this video helped out a lot. Use this video as a, hey, like, let me copy this rotation and I can make it my own thing if I found something better that probably is a better rotation out there. But this is the one that I use for Savage and it's pretty spot on like doing some amazing damage and it just feels really good throughout the fight. As always, drop a comment if you have any questions or if this video was helpful. You know, like, subscribe, and do what you want to do with it. And I will catch you on the next video, sharing more information that I find out as I always do. I appreciate all the love y'all give, and I will catch y'all later.